What is going on, FA Nation? John Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm MLB DFS Game Day Playbook Preview Show. We are looking at the Friday 12-game main slate. James and I wearing matching maroon here for this Friday slate, kind of bring up the vibes. You'll be on the playbook for this show here. We got some rain on the East Coast that we have to worry about. Which is something you always are at least slightly concerned given the weather situation. No cores, at least, so we don't have to deal with that. We have some decent pitching matchups on this slate as well, so a full day of baseball ahead.
Full day of baseball ahead. Really good starters at the top. Obviously, some still underpriced, I would say. I'm looking at you, Cole Reagans, against the Red Sox, but
Did the Red Sox strike out against lefties? I'm not sure.
Haven't checked recently. It'll have to be data that we dive into, especially like their last 2-week data. But it's an interesting slate overall. Brian Wu coming off the IL to make his debut. What do we got? Mets hosting the Rockies. So a lot of strikeouts in that series. So it should be a fun one overall.
100%. We appreciate you all tuning in. If you can hit that like and hit that share button, subscribe button, it's a free way to support the work we do here at the Fantasy Alarm channel. We appreciate you each and every day stopping by. And don't forget, we go live at 5 p.m. Eastern time. We certainly appreciate you all tuning in there. You can get your questions answered, bet questions answered. We build a lineup at the end of the show. So make sure you set your alarms, hit that subscribe button so you do not miss when we go live here on the Fantasy Alarm channel. We'll start things off at the pitching position. We have Garrett Crochet at 10-3 going up against Pittsburgh Pirates. Sonny Gray at 10-2 going up against Chicago Cubs. Joe Ryan, Freddie Peralta, and Garrett Cole rounding out the top 5 starters. Talk to me, man. Where are we leading things off?
We're leading things off right at the top. Garrett Crochet, great spot against Pittsburgh. I know Pittsburgh got O'Neal Cruz back on for Thursday. And I know Crochet is obviously coming off maybe like the most disappointing start ever, considering it was Miami and everything was teed up for him to have.
Innings, man.
Yeah. I mean, just not great. The walks, the pitch count, everything was terrible. But a chance to redeem himself here, and he has been amazing in basically every start since May. So
imagine being in a seasonal fantasy league and dropping him after this stretch of 3 starts because you're like, they figured him out. 17 runs over the last 3. The dust is worn off, and then he picked up, and he has been the best pitcher in the American League almost since that point. So
basically the best pitcher in the American League. I could not imagine a person would ever do such a thing. But I mean, maybe it has somewhere in the world. But yeah, Crochet 10-3, really great spot. I'm probably not that interested in Sonny Gray with how well the Cubs bats have been swinging and how poorly Sonny Gray's pitched the last 2 games after, like elite Sonny Gray stretch that we get despite only throwing 84 pitches and max in those games. So probably just Crochet for me over 10K, but I do think like Joe Ryan's interesting. Freddie Peralta obviously has upside. What version of Garrett Cole shows up, because he was great for 3 innings and then Rafael Devers happened again and the 90 pitches are great.
Someone shine some more stats just to go deeper into the Cole Devers matchup here. It's the 3rd time through the order in a game in which Devers does all the damage against Garrett Cole. He's hit 6 of his 8 home runs in the 3rd at bat of the game against Cole. He has a 3,000 OPS and he's hitting 680 off of him in his 3rd at bat of a game against Garrett Cole. So moving forward, Garrett Cole should not pitch to Devers the 3rd time he faces him in a game because Devers has him timed pretty well at that point.
Yeah, apparently. And obviously Garrett Cole has not really pitched well. He looked fine against Toronto. The other three starts have been not Garrett. I mean, he was the best pitcher in baseball last year, right? So
yeah.
I would say up top, like above 9K for me, Crochet, some Joe Ryan, some Freddie Peralta.
Let's just get to the Cole Reagans matchup here. Obviously, we know an elite strikeout pitcher. the Red Sox just continue to strike out against left-handed pitching, and even when they're hitting the ball better as a team, like JP Sears shut them down. How do you have like 8 strikeouts?
He did
in that game the other night. We've seen guys like Andrew Abbott and Max Fried go for double-digit strikeouts. Guys don't really consider to be big strikeout pitchers. Crochet, I think, had double-digit strikeouts in like 4 innings by the time they got around to him. On the year, it's a 29% strikeout rate. Over the last 2 weeks, it's a 35% strikeout rate against left-handed pitching. Yeah, man. I mean, and it's not just that. A 110 ISO, a 230 WOBA, a 170 batting average against left-handed pitching. I mean, I don't know how you don't just plug Cole Reagans in knowing those numbers.
Yeah, and the Boston lineup the other day was not obviously
it wasn't good.
I mean, dude, they had Romy Gonzalez, and I didn't expect both. They had Romy Gonzalez and Jamie Westbrook in the lineup.
Yeah.
Like that was 2 of the bottom half of their lineup. Obviously, like Boston weather in the summer is great for hitters, right? And like we've seen that year in, year out. It's a smaller ballpark in the heat. The ball travels well.
Yep.
Like they're not hitting the ball against left-handed pitching. They're not even hitting. And now we said it. We'd never get the Reagans price the way it was. Well, I guess thank you to DraftKings, but like also you're probably not going to get many times on a 12-game slate where there's going to be a lot of ownership going to one guy. I feel like, and we've been wrong before, but Cole Reagans, there's no reason he shouldn't be the highest rostered pitcher at 8,500 because he's a $10,000 pitcher when.
I mean, he's literally been a mid-9s to 10 the entire season. Goes to Coors, gets 82. Excuse me, pitches well in Coors, and then they're slow on the come to raise his price tag here. I mean, even Trevor Rogers had 6 strikeouts in 3 innings against Boston, and he's been terrible. So, where else are you looking to go here in the mid-tier?
I mean, Hunter Brown obviously, met his match, and that's fair. Yeah, it's fine. The Twins are the Twins. You can't do anything about that. So, I'd be okay going back to Hunter Brown. I guess the one problem is Texas has also been really good, and he obviously struggled with lefties, and lefties are.
I'd be a little bit worried. More shell shock probably after the last matchup. And I don't mean we think Texas is a better lineup than they've shown.
They are.
At times this season. Where are you with Sean Manaea here? $8,600 is obviously a steep price tag. Good matchup.
Yep.
He hasn't been awful.
He's been good. No, he's been good.
Right?
No, he's been good. I think he's a good play. I didn't mean to just skip over him, but he has been consistently good. Outside of one of his last, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 starts, he's had 15 plus fantasy points in 9 of 10. And obviously he struggled once against Philadelphia. Oh, okay. Philadelphia is really good. He has a 10 strikeout game on his ledger. The strikeouts have been pretty consistent, 5 plus in 4 of his last 5. Dude, Colorado just got wiped by Cincinnati's pitching. Outside of a game that Nick Lodolo, for whatever reason, came back after a lengthy delay. They got absolutely wiped by Cincinnati pitching in Great American Ballpark. So, yeah, I think the Sean Manaea call is great. And that's a comfortable – if you start Manaea Reagans, like that's a pretty comfortable start. You have a lot of money left over for your bets.
I agree, 100%. Working our way down the listing at 12 games, so a ton of starting pitchers here. Anybody else in sort of the value range, stick out to you at all here?
I mean, what sticks out to me is how lucky Tyler Anderson continues to get. 8 scoreless, 10 strikeouts against the Cubs the last time out. Is that going to happen against Seattle? I don't know. Seattle hits a lot of home runs away from home, but obviously Seattle also strikes out a lot. So if Tyler Anderson can repeat his life performance that he had last game, that's a little bit interesting. I think Carson Spires is a little bit interesting. He's had pretty good performances outside of his last game. Hadn't allowed any home runs until the Detroit and St. Louis start, his last two. But $7,000 against Miami, Carson Spires, I think makes a lot of sense.
Sure.
Given the matchup, obviously the ballpark is not great, but he's been fine at home this year. Criswell is getting called back up. It's fine. I guess like Yariel Rodriguez would be the other intriguing name. I don't love the matchup. Obviously, Arizona's been really good against right-handed pitching. But dude, he's been like weirdly good the last two starts. He was walking everyone, and he's still walking. The elevated walk rate is still there, but the strikeouts have followed as well, kind of where they were when his first two performances.
Yeah.
Arizona isn't like a high strikeout team, and they're obviously a good offense, but he's $6,700 for a guy who has gone 22, 27 fantasy points and has looked really good in back-to-back starts. That'd probably be the only other place I'd go. I don't think we'd really need to go anywhere else.
I mean, listen, Rodriguez is kind of an interesting cat from like the path he took to
professional baseball.
Get to the major leagues. Obviously, he played Cuban baseball. He's played kind of around the world. He didn't play many years in American baseball. In fact, his time here in AAA has really been it for him. He's really good for their AAA team. He had a 1.3 ERA in 8 appearances, 33 strikeouts in 20 innings. They bring him up. Man's been pretty serviceable. The strikeouts have kind of followed here, so I don't mind giving a look there necessarily. And the rest of this, not much I'm looking to pitch, that's for sure. Nope. I don't think.
Nope.
Catcher, big slate. We'll find the value, but anyone in particular stick out to you here?
Tyler Stevenson exists in the world, John. And he is hitting a lot of home runs at home again. I know it's a righty, but he hit a home run against a righty on the Thursday slate after hitting a home run against a lefty to start the day. He's just been kind of quiet after like a monster offensive year a couple years ago. But $3,800 against Chirinos at home would be like the first place I'd get to. Francisco Alvarez, $4,300, gets Gordon here. We know how good Francisco Alvarez is against right-handed pitching. Have to think I'd be interested. We'd be interested at $4,300 there. Sean Murphy against Randy Vasquez. I know Vasquez struggles against lefties specifically, but I think that's in play. Jonah Heim, if you are sticker shock for Hunter Brown, would be a little bit interesting. Furman at 31. Maybe some Corey Lee against a lefty at 3,100, but that's
is that what Gonzalez is that? Is that Marco? Marco Gonzalez is back in the league.
Marco Gonzalez making starts.
He was pretty good to start the year. He's off the IL and he's ready to rock.
It's weird not seeing him in a Mariners uniform, but yeah. I remember actually thinking back, they went out and did the whole like.
I wonder if he's still a reverse splits pitcher. What do you think?
I'm gonna assume he is because that's just.
Let's go see what Marco Gonzalez did in his first 3 starts this year. Here,
my assumption is he has gone like years and years of being a reverse splits pitcher. There's no way that's changed now.
Let's see. Marco Gonzalez first lefties. Held lefties 167. Held righty 261 average righties. 298 WOBA. Obviously, he was pretty good in these 3 starts. So, Philly, Baltimore. What would you give Marco Gonzalez a look against the White Sox to $6,600?
White Sox are pretty good against lefties.
I agree. All right, let's go to first base. A more interesting position here. Up at the top, possibly soon being traded to Pete Alonso? Question mark. Had the Houston Astros rumors going on there. Steer, Olsen, Walker. We have the Randy Vasquez versus lefties. Does Matt Olson figure it out in this matchup?
Dude, they cannot hit righties. They cannot hit right-handed pitching. I don't know what to tell you.
Are you pitching Randy Vasquez?
No, but I'm not playing the Braves either. No, okay. I mean you could play Olsen. If there's ever a spot that Olsen can break out in, it would be this spot. I think Alonso is fine. He has power. Spencer Steer, we saw on Thursday, even in a slate where he doesn't homer, 3 for 5, a double, a stolen base. Like Spencer Steer has a lot of upside in Great American and Olsen. Those would be the 3 5K plays. I wouldn't mind Christian Walker because Christian Walker has been so good against right-handed pitching, but Yariel Rodriguez is such an unknown. I'm not sure. Like, is this guy, is Yariel Rodriguez last 2 starts an indication of what's to come, right? So
Could be.
GPPs for Walker for me.
Ryan Nelson gets hammered by righties. We have Vlad Guerrero here at $4,800. Jose Miranda back with first base eligibility. It is against a lefty, not a righty, but I mean, this man has been relatively unstoppable for the month of July. So he's in the conversation. Salvi Perez is here. Pascantino. What are you looking for in the 4K range?
Yeah, Vlad for sure, 48. Salvi's homering a lot lately. Pasquantino also has been good. I mean, I don't hate KC bats in Boston, right? The weather is going to be pretty good for them. They just haven't, just hard to build a stack of Kansas City that's like
Sure.
that's comfortable with the way their lineup's constructed. Candelario, better end of the split. Love that. I'm highly interested in the Reds again. I've been Great American. They've had great matchups, Colorado and then Miami in back-to-back series. So Candelario for sure. This is the better split for Carlos Santana. If you want to talk Twins first baseman, so you can go there. I know Nelson's been bad against righties, but dude, Spencer Horwitz just keeps hitting. Hit another home run on Thursday. A lot of multi-hit games there. So those would be
my RT Sports team right now over for the FSGA. So
yeah, I mean, he's been amazing. And then we get to the 3K tier, and definitely some names down here as well.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think Nathaniel Lowe's still in play. If you're not buying it, I think Hunter Brown's going to be in another tough situation. Of course, you mentioned Andrew Vaughn, Marco Gonzalez being the lefty there. Certainly can take a dagger on that one. I mean, I don't know. I bet against Anderson his last start, and he went out and
best start of his life.
Pitched best start of his life. He's an all-star. I don't know. Does Seattle figure him out? I mean, what do you think here?
Dude, they hit home runs a lot on the road. So they definitely, and Tyler Anderson, if you look at the peripheral numbers, he's getting very lucky. So
yeah, is like xFIP, his xERA is like 2 runs higher than his ERA. So
let's see what it was for 8 scoreless innings. Let's see if he had just Fangraphs. Yeah, his ERA this year 2.81. His xFIP is 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's pretty bad. His xFIP, that was a legit start. 1.22 xFIP in that last start he made. So
yeah,
I guess salute to Tyler Anderson. But I mean, it's a tough Seattle lineup on the road. They hit a lot of home runs. So sure. I'd probably be more likely to play Seattle than I would Tyler Anderson.
Second base, top guys are there. Altuve versus a lefty. Albie is against Vasquez. Ketel Marte versus Rodriguez. Willie Castro versus a lefty, $5,100. I know 51 might be a little sticker shock, but he's been hammering lefties this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think Altuve would be willing to go back to the well after a disappointing Thursday slate. He's been amazing outside of the Thursday slate that me and you needed him to be amazing in. But we'll move on to the Friday slate. Goldfish memory there. I agree. The only problem with Willie Castro against lefties is they bought him at like 9th, which I just don't get because he's been so good against them.
Yeah.
That would be the only that plus the price tag would be like, I know you're talking sticker shock, but if he's sitting 9th, that's also kind of concerning. Like,
yeah,
5,100 hitting 9th.
I agree with you. 9th is obviously the chance for one less at bat. I'm hopeful that offense just is good and he gets all the at bats and it doesn't necessarily matter. But 5,100 for 9-hitter, I would agree is struggle bus. Terang 48. Colonel Wood for Schwellenbach $4,700 there. Jonathan India $4,500. Good option in the mid tier there.
Yeah, the price keeps going up for India, but it's obviously worthy of a shout. Another 3 hits on Thursday after a home run, Wednesday after getting hurt. So Yeah, I think India is the top dog in the mid tier for sure.
Sure. Massey's 41, Horner. All the Cubs had good days on Thursday. $4,100 for him. Nolan Gorman, Kyle Hendricks is coming back. Maybe some power there. Gorman, Burleson, when we get to the cards in this slate, could have some appeal there.
Gorman's bizarre. Gorman is bizarre. He has
he goes on super hot stretches and then ice cold stretches.
Dude, he was 1 for 35, and then he's all these multi games in a row. It's crazy. So yeah, I mean, good luck guessing when Nolan Gorman's going to be good and when he's not. But right now he's been good. So yeah, I think that would probably be the play for me. I don't have a lot of interest any further down. Just looking at the player pool.
Yeah, I mean, you'll just be throwing darts at guys, but nothing sticks out that's anything spectacular for me here either. I guess Dubon, if he's in the lineup at 3,100, could be a play against Heaney.
Yeah, sure.
Moving on over to third base here. Where are you looking to go?
Austin Riley's obviously been good. If you do want to test your fate against Randy Vasquez with a righty. Vientos gets a righty. I'm not totally interested at 46. I think Candelario, Bregman, and Josh Smith would probably be the first three names I get to. Candelario, we talked about at first base. This is the better end of the split. Bregman against the lefty, hitting second. I'm definitely interested in. Then Josh Smith, lefty. He's started to heat up again in that Angel series. I like him at 4,300. Just third base now for Josh Smith.
Yeah.
But, good. It wasn't like we were playing him over Corey Seager anyway.
Right, exactly. Going down, they have obviously Lee still $3,800. Do we know if he is better as a lefty or a righty?
He hit for more power as a righty and hit at AAA and hit for more average as a lefty.
So we get the power side here.
We do have the power side. He also led off the other day in one of the games of the doubleheader. I don't think that's going to continue to be the case. I would expect Margot to lead off. That's usually what they do against lefties. But just interesting to see, with Royce Lewis down, how high Brooks Lee is going to hit in this lineup. Because if he continues to do this, how are you going to bat him? You can't just bat him seventh every day. It's like the Jose Miranda thing, right? Jose Miranda was hitting seventh, and they're like, oh, you have 13 hits consecutive. We got to hit you fourth.
Once he went 12 for 13, they're like, you know what? Maybe we bump him up there. Value at third base? Anybody for you here?
I mean, Nolvy's had a good game, followed up by another atrocious one. That's kind of been the Nolvy Marte experience so far.
He had a 0% walk rate at AAA this year. 29% strikeout rate. He walked 0 times in 22 games.
Does not seem good. That does not seem.
It's not good. It's not good.
You know who's been good? And we could pay down for against Ryan Nelson, Ernie Clement, $2,700. Righty matchup. Clement had back-to-back days with home runs, 3 straight games with double-digit fantasy points. Just a thought. I mean, 541 slug over his last 10 games. Obviously, all of the damage was done in the power department. He had a 289 OBP in that span. That's not great, but $2,700. Obviously that allows you to spend up pretty much wherever else you want in
your lineup. Yeah, for sure. They called up Trey Lutz back up too. He had some speed earlier this year. I don't know if they'll be in the lineup or not for the Nats, but they do have him back up with their team. Shortstop, Gunnar versus Cole will be an interesting matchup. 65. Ellie versus Torinos, also pretty good there. Bobby Witt, CJ Abrams, Carlos Correa versus lefty. Go on and on. Seager, it's still 52. How do you decide Willie Adames against a righty at home? How do you decide what to do at first base on a 12-game slate? Shortstop, rather, on a 12-game slate.
I was going to say the medication is definitely hitting if you're saying first base. So I think maybe you just take matchup at this point. I think De La Cruz probably stands out the most to me because he's in Great American against Yanni Chirinos, who doesn't miss bats. That's obviously the Ellie De La Cruz problem. 124 strikeouts and 93 plate appearances, or 93 games played. And this is obviously the better end of the split. This is obviously the best ballpark. I mean, his OPS is 75 points higher at home than it is on the road. So I think De La Cruz would be number one for me. I think Witt against Criswell, who's getting recalled in Fenway with a hot summer night, would probably be second. I don't have a problem getting to Gunnar. We know Garrett Cole gives up home runs. We know Gunnar Henderson hits home runs. Like, I have no problem getting to any of those three. I think
basically probably like whatever your stack is going to be, you're going to end up using the shortstop.
I guarantee De La Cruz. I almost guaranteed of like that tier, De La Cruz would be the most popular because it's Great American against the Marlins and Chirinos would be my guess. Probably Witt second, but like obviously you can't really go wrong. I mean, Lindor's been great. O'Neal Cruz, even though lefty, he's been amazing lately when he's been healthy. Obviously, Seager's amazing when he's not getting intentionally walked. But I would say De La Cruz and Witt would probably be the two most popular of the.
Okay. Value tier, Jeremy Pena had an RBI on Thursday. He's 4,100 against Andrew Heaney, a lefty here.
Yep.
For some value plays. Anything else stick up to you down here? 4K and under?
4K and under. No. I don't see anything that I have.
I'd say maybe Paul DeYoung if you want to just go against Marco Gonzalez, but like
mine was Xavier Edwards 2,300 against Carson Spires. He's been good. He's 2,300. He's a switch hitter. He's in Great American. Multi-hit games. He has like a lot of games with hits lately, and honestly, he's played 11 games. He has 9 games with hits. He also stole his first base on Thursday. So I would say Xavier Edwards if you're punting the position.
Okay. Outfield, obviously a loaded position with talent. You have Judge and Soto versus Povich. We saw how bad Povich was the other day.
That's got to be the spot they get back.
Other start that he had. Kind of a bingo play for them. There's Baltimore a rain game. Baltimore is a game potentially with weather, so something to watch. For there. Christian Yelich has been a menace. He's $5,800. What else are we looking to target up top here?
Yeah, they're starting Rutledge. He pitched 1 inning in May. He 6.66 ERA in the minor leagues, by the way, for Jackson Rutledge of the Nationals. So, I mean, definitely interested in some Yelich. Obviously, Judge and Soto are as elite as it gets. Soto had a monster game on Thursday. Judge is going through a little bit of a slump right now, but this seems like a slump breaker. So any of those top names, other than Durant, I really don't have a lot of interest in Jarren Duran. I would definitely play Jordan if he plays. I don't know if he's going to because of the hip, but he's crushed lefties. I've had no problem getting to Jordan against lefties. Luis Robert against Marco Gonzalez, 54. Luis Robert's stealing bases again, so everything seems good there. If I am playing a Red Sox, Tyler O'Neill stands out. He hits lefties well, obviously.
Is anybody stopping Brendan Nimmo?
No. He also had like a home run robbed in that game as well.
Yeah.
So shout out James Wood. Also, maybe no one's stopping Julio Rodriguez. Another big game for Julio Rodriguez on Thursday.
Did he homer tonight?
No, he has multiple hits, double.
The Angels threw a trash can out there tonight, so use it to just.
He played their Double-A affiliate are literally the trash cans.
Are they?
I think that's they are something to do with garbage or the trash or something, but that's.
But I do like this spot for J-Rod. I agree with you. Going up against Tyler Anderson for sure. Say obviously was really good tonight. We'll see if he was to keep it going against Sonny Gray. I do like Byron Buxton. He's killing lefties. Again, Harrison, we like the talent, but hasn't been very consistent this year. Jock Peterson, if you're not going against with the Yair Rodriguez at 46. Merrill, 45, looks pretty good. Pham, 45. So definitely plenty of options in the mid 4K range.
Yeah, I like both those guys. I'll throw out Helio Ramos' name just because he's on one of those stretches again where he's just like, yeah, dude, I'm real. I'm just gonna homer in my ballpark.
Being productive.
In my massive ballpark cannot hold my bat. So I think that's another play I would get to in the mid tier. I know I like Sean Manaea, and I'm with you. I also
Brent Doyle.
have to mention Brenton Doyle against a lefty. And I know it's not Coors, and that's where he's done his damage. And Great American might as well have been Coors, right? But dude, this is craziness. Whatever Brent Doyle's doing right now. He was supposed to be a glove first with speed, and like, obviously the bat's coming around pretty nicely. So I would throw Brent Doyle into the equation as well.
Yeah, I agree with you. Jared Kelenic leading off lefty against Randy Vasquez, 4,300. Yep. Maybe soon to be New York Yankee Jazz Chisholm against Spires at 40.
God, I hope not. That's not going to solve.
John Heyman 30 minutes ago wrote an article saying, Yankees could be a fit for Jazz Chisholm on the trade market.
Well, I hope he just keep workshopping here, John, and let's come up with someone different.
Come up with something better than that.
Yeah,
he would be expected to play the infield, by the way, not the outfield for you guys.
Third. Yeah, third, probably. Jazz Chisholm at third. I can't freaking wait.
Wyatt Langford, $4,200. Pretty damn good. George Springer, also pretty good. He gets righty and Ryan Nelson. Alec Burleson, as I mentioned before, I think him against Hendricks here at 41. So a pretty strong group in the low 4Ks as well.
Pretty strong group in the low 4s as well. Ceddanne Rafaela, we didn't mention it short, but 4,100. Eloy at 41 if you're stacking White Sox as well.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, if you like the Red Sox, obviously Ref Snyder's there. He homered the other day. He's 4K. Let's see. What else we got? Chorio's been good, but he'll hit the bottom of the lineup versus righty.
Yep. Yeah, they've been leading off against lefties, so salute to Jackson Chorio for that.
Fraley's back. Got him against
Did you see what happened to Jake Fraley in his return?
No.
They activated him off the medical list. He went to pinch hit, and then Colorado brought in a lefty, and then they pinch hit for his pinch hit. So he never got an at bat. So.
Well, he's back. Maybe he'll start 3,700.
Him and Donovan 3,700 too, right there.
Yep. Yeah. Manny Margot will play again. Not that I love that, but he'll get in there.
I think he'll lead off. They've been leading him off. So
he's been, like I said, he's not been good, but it should be Castro that leads off, but they won't do that. So MJ Melendez, pretty interesting.
Yeah, he homered again the other day. I think Kansas City is interesting. Criswell obviously got sent down because he needs things to work on, and you're getting called back up against a team that can hit a lot of home runs, including Hunter Renfroe at 3,400 too.
Yep. Value plays here. Jesus Sanchez, lefty power bat in Cincinnati. De La Cruz homer tonight. Could probably go there against Spires as well if you wanted to at 33. Kirkstad, yeah, if he's in the lineup for sure. Benson in Cincinnati homered the other day. Let's see. Anything else? Jake Myers, he had that big double tonight. That was basically a home run everywhere else. 400.
It has to be every ballpark.
Feet to dead center field, but gets lefty there.
Leote homered the other night. I think he's going to continue to be too cheap. He's $3,000. He continues to rate.
I say it every time when he faces a lefty. I know it's Garrett Crochet, but I'll say it anyways. Edward Olivares does hit lefties. Actually, he's in AAA, so don't have to worry about it. So Edward Olivares hits lefties. That's all he does in the league. So
Rhys Hines, 2,800.
Yeah.
If he's going to continue to be in the lineup, I mean, dude, he has had double-digit fantasy points. He's 28. Every single game that he's played, he's had double-digit fantasy points. He's either homered or he's stolen base in every game he's played.
He had like a 40% strikeout rate at the minor league level, but he's figuring it out here. So
well, he still got it, and that hasn't changed. He still has 5 strikeouts his last 3 games. But hey,
on my X timeline today was the 2018 High School Home Run Derby Championships, and the final round was Rhys Hines versus Bobby Witt Jr.
That is crazy.
Yeah, Bobby Witt Jr. won.
I was gonna say, who's the victor there? That's cool.
The 2018 High School Home Run Derby Championship. That was Bobby Witt and Hines.
Salute to both of them, I guess.
Right? Hines was a 2nd round pick, so he just strikes out way too much.
Hey, but again, he went 1 for 4 2 nights ago. Hit, stolen base, run scored, 10 fantasy points. You're giving me $2,800 in Great American against Yanni Chirinos, who is not really a strikeout arm, I am taking that all day.
Sure. Let's see. I think we're too far down here. Let's get
we're getting too crazy.
Let's kind of lineup build. We liked the
mid tier.
Yeah, the Reagan's Manaya build, right?
Yep. I would say plug Hines in $2,800. Just get some value in there. Maybe some maybe some Brooks Lee, or we had another punt third baseman, didn't we? Ernie Clement. We could do like one of those.
Does Clement have goal eligibility?
No, he lost it. He's third only.
Okay. What was our catcher?
Stevenson. Unless we wanted to even pay down even further. Furman, Heim.
Nah, that's fine. Stevenson's been on a roll. 4,500. I liked Vladdy here.
Yeah, I liked Vladdy too. I like Vladdy quite a bit. And if you wanted to play some,
I don't even think we need to necessarily stack them, but you could do Horowitz at second.
That's what I was thinking. Just don't have to stack them, but I was just literally thinking of the connection.
It was either, for me, it'd either be Horowitz or I would go like Springer, given the run that he's been
on.
Fair.
That's fair as well. I would do that if we didn't want to play. If we had a better.
I just don't know what else we would do at second. I mean, Nolan Gorman, I guess, 39 against Hendricks. If you like,
or Massey, or India, but like that's all just dependent on roster construction. I'm good with Horowitz, Gorman.
Where's Springer been hitting in the lineup lately? They moved him up yet?
I think he led off when after Bichette got hurt, but we can.
If we do that. This would give us.
We're going to go to July 10th. They did not play today. Where did George Springer play on this fine day against the Giants? George Springer hit first. It was Springer. This is the game Bichette left. Springer, Horowitz, Vladdy, Turner was the top four. Clement hit 8th. Kirk hit 7th. Yeah, I saw his bell homer the other day.
Do a little Kansas City stack, Massey, Witt, Isabel.
Yeah, don't hate it.
Stevenson, Hines, Springer, Vladdy. We got a one-off Brooks Lee.
Don't hate it.
With Manaya and Reagan, $300 left over.
Don't hate it.
Example lineup for everybody there. We'll be back live at 5 p.m. Eastern time. You got James Grande's on that playbook, so make sure you check that out. If you're not yet a member of the Fantasy Alarm family, don't know what you're waiting for. You get 50% off your first month there. Get it for less than $20. Go to fantasyalarm.com/win. Use promo code Let's Go. The Fantasy Football Draft Guide is included in your All-Pro subscription. So if you're getting ready for your fantasy football season, the cheat sheet, the rankings, all the good stuff for the Draft Guide is now live. And you can get that for $20 when you sign up with the All-Pro subscription there, fantasyalarm.com/win. Promo code Let's Go. You got to get access in there. Get everything you guys need to dominate all premium content products there, including our Discord where you can ask us questions. Myself, Howard Bender, James Grande, Andrew Cooper, the whole team in there live answering your questions to get you ready for the day of games. So till then, everybody will be back at 5 p.m. We'll see you then. Good luck.